Welcome to the ACHEMA Webcast, the format where in the run-up to ACHEMA 2024, we give you some insight on the trends that shape and change the process industries. To give you food for thought, but also to help you prepare your visit to ACHEMA 2024 from 10th to 14th June. And we have picked literally the highlights of our program, introducing to you our focus topics, our highlight speakers, and all the ideas that are at the moment at the very top of the priority list of the process industries. Now, as we all know, nature tends to work in cycles. We have carbon cycles, we have water cycles, we have cycles for inorganic materials. And this is what we would like to achieve in the process industries and the chemical industry as well. Closing loops, don't wasting any resources, reaching maximum resource efficiency. And one of the keys to this would be closing the carbon loop and using CO2. And it is my pleasure to introduce to you today's guest, Dr. Uwe Boltersdorf, the Division President, Chemtech, and member of the Executive Committee of Sulzer. Welcome, Dr. Boltersdorf.
Many thanks for the kind introduction, Mrs. Robert. Pleasure to be here.
We're happy to have you. Now, Dr. Boltersdorf, the use of CO2 as a resource has been described in chemistry for decades as a so-called dream reaction. So are dreams finally coming true? Where are we with this technology?
I think, as you rightly said, closing the carbon loop is one of the really prime goals that the industry has to achieve. And number one, it's not only that we need to establish these processes, we have to establish these processes in a very efficient manner. So really getting the carbon capture organized in a way from a process perspective that we get the CO2 out of waste streams is a priority in itself. And of course, once we have the CO2 being absorbed and desorbed and then finally available as a clean resource, then using that as a raw material is the big task that I think the entire industry is heading towards. And of course, there's some ideas in our minds that make this potentially possible. One of the ideas is that we can transform the CO2 into new minerals with technology that we are jointly developing with our partner Blue Planet, so that we have a mineral that we can then bring into the construction industry and have a kind of real use for the CO2 in a new value chain.
But do you really believe that the products made from CO2 will be competitive soon compared to those from other carbon sources?
I think, as always in our industry, sometimes it needs a little bit of testing and piloting in the beginning. But I think the entire chemical industry and process industry has proven once an innovation has taken place and first demos have been developed, scaling up these demos is possible. And with the scaling of technology, we always have been successful in being competitive to certain other routes in industry. So for me, that's kind of the nature of the process industry, to make innovation scalable and to make innovation competitive over time.
Mm-hmm. Now I expect our viewers will at ACHEMA see a lot of technology relating to this task, but what is the current major bottleneck? Is it technology? Is it something like regulation? What is the biggest hurdle we have to take?
I think there is one or two bigger hurdles that we need to overcome. Number one, of course, there is an innovation topic which we need to solve. So there's various technologies that people are working on for carbon capture or for CO2 usage. So the sheer question mark on what technology might make it and what we really can make at scale, this is one question mark. But I think the bigger question mark actually is to look into who is taking the entrepreneurial risk of investing into these technologies. So if we look at this, it might get into a value chain that is not really predefined who is the major user and the major beneficiary of this technology. So the CO2 might come from a cement industry, and the end product that we want to do with the CO2 might be a chemical application. So who is connecting the cement industry with the chemical industry? Who is the one really doing the investment into these technologies? And I think that's an open question, and it's not solved yet.
Very interesting, because I think this is what we see with a lot of the novel technologies out there. We don't have the business models and the value chains in place to really make them fly. But what do you think? When will the first products made out of CO2 hit the markets?
I think currently we are seeing the first demo units being implemented in a lot of places with a lot of sources. These, as I said, are not yet at scale, but they will demonstrate the value chains that you were talking about. And from there, I would say typically it takes 3 to 5, perhaps 7 years until we really can find scalable solutions and really bring products at scale to the market.
Okay. And I think at ACHEMA we will hear more about how we will get there, what needs to be done, both in ways of technology and in cooperation. I think it's a lot of cooperation that's necessary there. Sector encompassing, so to say. So
yes, I see the ACHEMA as one of the leading fairs where we can even try to connect people along these industries and value chains. And of course, we as a technology provider to the industry, we are hoping to see our suppliers as well as our customers at ACHEMA to really do exactly these conversations and see how to cooperate and with whom to cooperate to make these technologies happen in the near future.
So thank you very much, and we are looking forward to this, to seeing you at ACHEMA in summer. So thank you very much for being with us today.
It's a real pleasure, and I'm really looking forward for the ACHEMA next year.
See you there. Goodbye. And if you also want to join ACHEMA and want to learn more about these technologies, have your own ideas maybe, are looking for people to talk to, make sure to be there on Friday the 14th of June, when we will meet Dr. Boltersdorf and other speakers on the panel of the highlight session on process innovation, which is titled Mimicking Nature, Maximum Resource Efficiency in the Chemical Industry. Apart from that, we have a tremendous Congress program. We have all our exhibitors. We have a lot of food for thought, of new ideas, of people coming from all over the world. So make sure to schedule your ACHEMA visit right now into your calendar. Get your ticket. The ticket shop is open. And see you at ACHEMA 2024.